Have you ever felt like the people closest to you could betray you in ways you never imagined? Until one discovery gave you the strength to confront the truth and rebuild your family's legacy? This is my story. My name is Ava, and at 29 years old, I discovered that my older brother had stolen everything from us until I found the courage to expose his lies and create something meaningful from the ashes. I grew up in a tight-knit family where loyalty was everything. My brother, Ethan, was my hero, a man who always seemed to have it all together. He was smart, ambitious, and fiercely protective of our family. As children, we were inseparable, sharing secrets, dreams, and countless adventures. Our bond was unbreakable, or so I thought. As we grew older, our lives took different paths. While I pursued a modest career as a teacher, Ethan became the golden child, earning praise and admiration from everyone around him. I admired his ambition and success, but over time, I began to notice cracks in his polished exterior. Ethan often dismissed my concerns about the family's decisions, brushing them off as paranoia or jealousy. "Ava," he'd say with a condescending smile, "you're overthinking things. Trust me, I know what I'm doing." His words stung, but I told myself he knew best. After all, he was the one everyone trusted. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. Then, one day, everything changed. My father passed away, leaving behind a letter addressed specifically to me. In it, he revealed that he had kept a journal documenting decades of the family's secrets that included fraud, betrayal, and even criminal activities. He entrusted me with the responsibility of deciding what to do with this information. "Ava," he wrote, "you have the power to expose the truth or let it remain buried. Whatever you choose, know that I believe in you." The weight of his words hit me like a ton of bricks. For days, I wrestled with what to do. Part of me wanted to ignore the journals, to pretend I had never seen them. After all, exposing the truth would mean risking everything: the family's reputation, my relationships, and even my own safety. But another part of me knew that staying silent would only perpetuate the cycle of lies and deception. I realized that my father hadn't just left me a burden, he had given me a mission. Determined to uncover the full extent of the family's secrets, I began reading the journals. What I found was even worse than I imagined. Ethan had been embezzling money from the family business, using the funds to finance his lavish lifestyle while leaving employees unpaid. He had also orchestrated cover-ups for crimes committed by other family members, ensuring that their misdeeds remained hidden. The journals contained evidence of forged documents, bribes, and even blackmail, all meticulously recorded by my father. Over the years, for weeks, I struggled to process the magnitude of what I had uncovered. How could the brother I loved and trusted be capable of such betrayal? How could I confront him without destroying everything we had built together? But as I reflected on my father's words, I realized that the truth wasn't just about exposing wrongdoing, it was about creating accountability and fostering change. I decided to act. Using the evidence from the journals, I confronted Ethan, demanding an explanation. At first, he denied everything, accusing me of being jealous of his success. But when I presented him with the journals, his confidence crumbled. "How did you find these?" he asked, his voice trembling. "You can't tell anyone. If this gets out, it'll ruin everything." "I already know what you've done," I replied, my voice firm, "and I won't let you get away with it." Ethan pleaded with me to stay quiet, promising to make amends and repay the stolen money. But I knew that wasn't enough. I filed a lawsuit against him and other family members involved in the scandals, exposing their crimes to the public. The case gained national attention, and soon, stories of victims began to surface. Employees who had been cheated out of their wages, business partners who had been deceived, and community members who had suffered due to the family's greed came forward to share their experiences. Their stories resonated deeply with me, reminding me of why I had chosen this path. As the trial unfolded, I watched the family's empire crumble. Ethan's once unshakable confidence turned into desperation as the evidence mounted against him. Friends and allies abandoned him, and his reputation was destroyed. In the end, the court ruled in favor of the victims, ordering Ethan and the others to pay restitution for the damages they had caused. I used the recovered funds to establish a foundation dedicated to supporting victims of corporate fraud and financial exploitation. I called the foundation Truth and Justice, a name that reflected my journey of exposing the family's secrets and empowering others to seek justice. Through the organization, I provided resources, legal assistance, and counseling to individuals affected by similar scandals. I also launched educational programs to teach ethical leadership and accountability, ensuring that future generations would learn from the mistakes of the past. One of the people I helped was Marcus, a former employee of the family business who had been denied severance pay after being laid off. When he came to us, he was struggling to make ends meet, unsure of how to fight back against the powerful forces that had wronged him. Together, we worked to file claims, secure compensation, and rebuild his life. Watching him regain his dignity and confidence reminded me of my own journey and the strength I had discovered within myself. Another individual, Laura, shared a story eerily similar to mine. Her cousin had also been embroiled in scandals, and she had spent years trying to uncover the truth without success. When she learned about Truth and Justice, she reached out for support. Together, we helped her navigate the legal system, recover stolen assets, and find closure. Her gratitude reinforced my belief that the work we were doing was making a difference, not just for individuals, but for society as a whole. As the foundation grew, so did my sense of purpose. I realized that the family's betrayal, while devastating, had given me a gift, the opportunity to turn pain into action and create something meaningful. By exposing the truth, I was able to honor the parts of my relationship with my father that mattered most. The lessons he taught me about resilience, courage, and the importance of standing up for what's right. But building truth and justice wasn't without its challenges. There were moments when I questioned whether I was strong enough to carry the weight of so many stories, so much pain. There were times when the memories of the family's lies threatened to overwhelm me, pulling me back into the darkness. But I reminded myself of why I started this journey: to create a better future, not just for myself, but for others. Through the individuals I met, I discovered something profound. Healing isn't a linear process. It's messy, unpredictable, and often painful. But it's also transformative. By sharing our stories, supporting one another, and taking steps toward change, we can reclaim our power and rewrite our narratives. That realization became the foundation of Truth and Justice, not just as an organization, but as a movement. Looking back, I realized that the family didn't just leave me a legacy of secrets, they gave me the tools to transform it into something meaningful. Their actions forced me to confront truths I might otherwise have avoided, pushing me to grow in ways I never imagined. And while I'll never fully understand why they chose to live the way they did, I've come to accept that their choices don't define me. Instead, They've shaped me into the person I am today. Stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever to make a difference through truth and justice. I've learned that power isn't about control or revenge. It's about creating opportunities for others to thrive. It's about using your pain to fuel positive change, to lift others up when they feel like they can't stand on their own. And it's about recognizing that, no matter how broken you feel, you have the ability to rebuild not just your life, but the lives of those around you. If you're watching this and feeling betrayed, remember, your pain doesn't have to define you. You have the power to turn it into purpose, to create something beautiful out of something broken. If this story resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe for more inspiring stories, and let's rewrite our legacies together.